Great. I think we are live. Romeo? Sweet.
Yeah, we are live.
Okay, great. So I think we are both audible. Hey everyone, good to see. I think we'll just give everyone just few minutes so that everyone can join in. Romeo, I think we have already few guests in the waiting list.
Yeah, we have already got some people in our guest room, so I hope it will be a great event.
Yeah, great. So maybe we can just take few minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. If you can explain the audiences how this will work, give a quick outline on how this will work. Maybe we can start bringing in people slowly.
So we have today Siam Hossain with us, the founder and CEO of Algorizin. So it's a AMA session. So in this session, anyone can ask anything related to career and uh, landing their first job in the USA. So here we have in our guest room we have some members from our previous batch, our alumni and our students, and also some of the pre-registered early bird members. So after some introductory session and some preliminary discussion, we'll go to one-to-one conversation. So we'll bring people one by one, and we'll have answered their queries. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment in here in the guest room or also in the Facebook Live page.
Great. So yeah, I think I can probably go and start some with the basics. Maybe. Thank you, Romeo, for mentioning this. Let me just see. So I can also see a few people commenting. So I don't know how Stream or ER fully works, but I think they will pop up or something. So just let me know, Romeo, if there is any technical issues from my side. I'm audible, right?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and
Perfect,
clear.
perfect. So, okay, great. So just a quick background on me so that you understand why we are doing this. So I graduated from my master's degree from US in 2011. That was pretty long back, almost 10 years back from now. After graduation, I have a very difficult time landing my first job in US because although I had a STEM degree, a master's in a STEM degree, the US job market is very opaque for the international students. There is no clear guidelines. No one knows exactly. We do not have any professional network originally because our networks are back home. We do not know what exactly the employers are looking for, and not having the visa status, the correct visa status, is also a problem. Like everyone, whenever I went to the career fairs, I saw that just because of my immigration status, most of the employers just like rejected me. Some of them did it nicely, or some of them just canceled it um, uh, on the background. But what essentially happened is that I had to go through a couple months of odd jobs, like working in basically some blue collar jobs just to survive in US, because also that time I was a student, my funding was over. This was my end of my master, so I had to just do some blue collar jobs to survive, essentially financially survive in the country. It took me a while eventually to find a good job, like a proper paying job, and get more settled. Long story short, so from 2011 until now, I went through the whole OPT extension, H1B, and then green card process. And then, so I know how to navigate the whole path. Like I have been through with it personally, but I wish that I had some kind of like mentor with me in this path. It would have not. I think I got my green card from my master's. So from 2011, I got my green card in 2017. So in 6 years from graduation from my master's, it took me 6 years to get the green card on my hand. I've seen some people who gets green card faster. Some could be slower, but I think I was on the average mark. But that's not the issue. I think the problem with not having any guidance is that because this is such a big, uh, almost like ocean-like problem, it's very easy to get lost. And I just wish that I had some career guidance so that I could choose that, okay, am I choosing the right technology? Am I choosing the right industry? or am I choosing the right cities to live in, because these all affect. And also, what is the right path to go to green card, because there are so many paths. I didn't even know there are so many random visa statuses, like O1. I don't know if you guys know of O1 status. A very again, we know only maybe 10% of the paths on people, how people can get green card. But I wish that we all had this knowledge, and the reason we are doing this session today is that it's a very casual, just getting to know each other and discussing people's problems individually, but mostly so that even if we can learn any small nugget, that could save maybe 1 year or 2 years of your life, just because you know something new. So that's the reason on why we are doing this session. I think, Romeo, we can probably, if someone, if there are some people who are, who are already attending as a guest, maybe we can bring them in slowly, and we'll do a one-on-one session. I will see how it goes.
Yeah, sure. So for the first person, I'm picking Ashraful Alam with us. Welcome, Ashraful.
Ashraful, we cannot hear you.
Oh, sorry, my fault. Thank you very much to select me, give me an opportunity to talk with you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's our pleasure. Can you hear us okay, Ashraful?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect. I can hear you. Just so that everyone knows, tell us a little bit quickly about you, just the 30 seconds intro.
Okay, so I am Ashraful Alam. I am currently a graduate student in Tuskegee University, Alabama. I'm doing my master's in electrical engineering. So I will be graduate in this summer, I mean in this coming July. So I will be in OPT. So from the last 1 month, I have been working with Algorizin. I'm with keep in touch with them. I'm doing some work. So we are enrolled in this program. So earlier I do some jobs in power sections in Bangladesh. I have been former engineer in Bangladesh Power Development Board. So yeah, that's all.
Great introduction, Ashraful. I already kind of know a little bit of your background, but thanks a lot for sharing with us. What is your question? What kind of question can I help you with today?
Yeah, my first question is that you know that I will be soon be in the OPT period. So as we know that in the OPT times period, within the first 3 months, we have to show the paper for the job and for the next year confirmation. I mean to continue the full year. So how algorithm can help us in this situation, even if we don't get a job within 3 months?
Sure. I can say for everyone's context, just so that everyone has an idea. So first of all, Ashraful, good question on the first 30 days OPT period. So whenever your EAD starts, in your EAD date for OPT, that's the start date of your OPT. And then as you guys know that within that date, within the first 90 days, you have to have some kind of like job. It can be a voluntary job. It doesn't matter if what kind of job you're doing, but it has to be a voluntary job. It has to be some kind of job in a legitimate US company. And if you are, many of the students decide to go with universities because they have just graduated with the universities, they go with their professor. That's one of the way. Since we are also a US company, we can also essentially help students with those phase. We can take them as a volunteer, and they can work in our software development projects, which will give them the necessary experience, plus also the required fulfill the immigration requirements. So if anyone joins Algorizin, we can definitely help them with that. But even if they don't want to join Algorizin, there are universities who help them with that if they have connections with the professors. I would try to stay away from like some of the predatory consulting companies, but other than that, like if you're going to any legitimate institution, then it should be okay. So that's my quick. Did I
Okay,
answer your
yeah,
question?
yeah. Okay, thank you. So Can I ask another?
Yeah, it's the session
Okay,
is yours.
so
Yeah.
I have another query that is in the H-1B visas. So you know that we have a 3 years. I mean, 3 times we can apply for the after in the OPT period. So what will be the best strategy to? I mean, is that better to get a big tech company getting a job, or is there other consulting firms who can help us? Or, I mean, what is the best suggestion here to get the H-1B visa quickly?
Very good question. I think this is a like valid question which could help everyone. So this goes both for H1B and green card. The I mean, I can tell you the ideal route, and then I can tell you the more realistic route, and we have to find out the more optimum route which works for everyone. But the ideal route is that if you can get into the big tech companies, or even doesn't have to be as big as Microsoft or top 10 or top 50, even if it is a Fortune 500 company, which is basically 500 companies list, that's a big list. You should be much safer than joining other companies, because these companies have very strong lawyer teams, and essentially this whole immigration process is a lawyer's game. That you have to understand that even if you so I'll go to different answers, but the first answer is that yeah, if you can get into a solid big company, then that will make the whole path easier. H1B, green card, all the acceptances, all the infrastructures are already built. They have already applied for H1Bs previously. Whenever they apply for it, they can show the track record of previous successful applications. Same goes with the green card, same thing. So that's always the best path. Now, it's not so easy to land that job in your first career path, because you're just starting into the Fortune 500s. It's not easy for everyone. Many of the people get it, but you should have a backup or contingency plan. So in case you are getting into a second tier company, let's say America has thousands of companies. So any other companies, some of the companies have, let's say like 100 employees only, or 200 employees. These are also very common to have small sized company. So whenever you get there, the best way to tackle that is to have an immigration lawyer. Even it's fine to, most of the immigration lawyers will actually do the first couple of sessions for you for free. But even if you have to spend $500, I know that a lot of the people are a little bit, I don't know, because sometimes immigrants tend to save money on some things, but this is not the place you should save money in. Like it's completely fine to spend $500 for an immigration lawyer who can provide you a solid support on that sense. I would suggest that if someone is doubtful of their application's case, that H1B or green card, just as an advisor to make the case stronger, even although the employer is doing it, it's good to vet it with the immigration lawyer. If you're getting into a smaller companies, then it just creates a second layer of buffer of safety net, because it is about how you make the case when you apply for the H1B or green card. It's about how you make the story, because you have to make a story that why is Ashraful, this person who came from Bangladesh, why is this person such an incredible asset in America that America cannot let them go. That's the high level. I'm telling it in a layman's perspective, but that's the kind of like the idea. And the third option, we can say path C, could be going to some of these consulting companies, which is a more like a not so straight route. People can go there, but again, it has other issues in the long term, that they will try to not let you go. They will I recommend trying other paths before going to some kind of stuffing company or that kind of companies. Did I answer your questions, Ashraful?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. I think we can let someone in. Ashraful, thanks a lot for joining.
So, welcome, Aman.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, we're good.
I don't have a a question right now. I was just joining to listen other people's question and answers. So
That's okay, Aman. Totally fine. If you don't have question, we can pull someone else in. No worries. Thanks a lot for joining.
no problem.
So,
Can you see me? Okay.
Yeah, we can see you. Yeah.
Okay. How are you, Sam bhai? Long
Good,
time no
good, good.
see.
Shetab, long time no see. How's it going?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, busy. Recently, on 28th of April, I have my comprehensive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm actively looking for co-op or intern or any full-time year. So in this matter, so for little bit of introduction, I have my master's from University of North Dakota in electrical engineering. So my research subject was nanomaterials, surface physics. So right now I am doing my PhD in University of Missouri, Kansas City. So my research subject is nanoelectronics. I am proposing a new kind of device for just a standalone device for the just mathematical performance or just functionality. Yeah. So right now it is in designing stage. When the designing stage is successful, then we will go for the fabrication stage. Yeah. So yeah. So for the today's purpose, I want to know about like the job. How can algorithm help me in this matter? So beside my nano fabrication background, I have data science background and machine learning, yeah, deep learning. So yeah, how algorithm can help me in this matter?
Sure. So, Shetab, like again, thanks a lot. Good to see you again after a long time. I think I'm seeing you after many years, but
Yeah.
life is busy for everyone, so understandable. So what is your career goal? I think that would be my follow-up question. What do you eventually want to, or let me just rethink the question that what is your ideal role you want to see yourself in, let's say in a longer term, like 5 years or 6 to 8 years? What is the ideal role? What is the company? What is the role? If you can picture that for us.
So my ideal rule for this case is actually so go for the field of data science, then gradually move to the higher level, like from data science to AI. So this is my 5 years plan. Yeah.
Okay, so you eventually want to switch from fabrication. I'm also from fabrication, by the way.
Yeah.
So that was my master's thesis. I was working with Texas Instruments. And then so you are switching from that to data science. I think also another follow-up question, why this switch? Why not fabrication? That seems to be a very good industry as well.
For the case of fabrication, I tried for 2 years for intern, then I didn't get any, not so much response. Then right now I switched to data science, and I also push my research on that side also without my professor's consent, but I push it on that direction. And right now I am getting some interview and also yeah, rejection letters. Yeah, so I'm getting some positive input from that field, but I'm not getting nothing from the fabrication field. Actually, I tried for 2 years.
Got it, got it, got it. Wow. Yeah, no, obviously data science roles are much more wider in that aspect. But is it just because of because there are more jobs in data science? Because there are even more jobs in software engineering, like even more, I think 4 or 5x jobs than data science in software engineering. So I'm just trying to understand. And again, sorry to ask you like direct questions, just trying to understand, is it that you like that field, or is it that, okay, like you're trying it for the job, number of jobs perspective? Just
Actually,
curious.
I like that field. Right now, I already finished my classes. Right now, I take extra classes like deep learning and Python. I already take that class, and this semester I took design and analysis of algorithm. In summer, I will take the course Introduction to Statistical Learning. Next semester, I will take another course for data science. Yeah. So right now, I'm just in the data science direction, taking extra
Got it.
courses. I already done with my semiconductor field courses. Yeah.
Got it, got it. Shetab, thank you for answering all these questions. I was just trying to understand so that I can answer you properly. So Algorizin essentially is a mentor-mentee platform, meaning
Okay.
that if we understand your previous experience and your goal, which I'm getting a very high-level understanding in like 1 minute. So the goal is that we have mentors who are industry professionals who are working in big tech companies. And essentially, after we map the student's profile, we provide them personalized guidance for career, specific in career, that, okay, like what kind of we do behavioral tests. We check out their online profiles, see that are their online profiles strong. We see their network strength, meaning that how strong is your network for job hunt. A lot of times, if you have been looking for jobs for until this time, you probably understand that job hunting in US is 70 to 80% is a networking game. So if you don't have a strong network, no matter how many applications you do, it will be very difficult. So we essentially figure out those gaps first in the students and fill up those gaps by looking at their resume, improving their LinkedIn, also providing them with mock interviews. Like whenever you're going to an interview, doing technical rounds, doing behavior rounds, if you are applying to any company, we have our internal network. So we pass those resumes and just follow up with our internal connections in those companies. So these are just few ways we help the students. One of the other major way we help the student is that we have some students who are switching to software engineering from different majors. For example, like you, for them, we have a full track where they actually learn the software development. We have partnership with another startup that they work in that startup, get that experience. So they have a longer path, but that's also another thing we do. But did I answer your question?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, Shaitab. Any other question you have for me or us at this point?
Not at this point.
Okay, no worries. Best of luck. Good seeing you again, and I'm hopeful that you'll get the the job soon. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Take care. Hello. I think we have Hasibul here. Hasibul, am I audible and visible? Because I'm not sure if I can see you.
Yeah, I can hear you. I actually gave an interview 25th April.
Okay.
To Algorizin. So yes, I was actually curious about to know. Actually, I'm a new student in US. This is my first semester. I just completed my first semester, so I was just listening the stories. How should I approach? That's all. And I'm waiting for some kind of news from Algorizin. It can be now or it can be 1-2 months or later, because I have time. I understand why Algorizin thinking about me. Okay. That's all. Actually, I try to join to know the environment of Algorizin.
Yeah, no worries, Hasib. So that just so that everyone knows, can you give us a little bit of, and also will it be possible to turn your video on? Is it okay?
I'm sorry. I can't turn it right now.
Okay, no worries. Give us a quick introduction, 30 seconds introduction of you, so that other people knows.
Okay. I'm currently studying a master's in computer science at the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, and previously I completed my undergrad in Daffodil International University back in Bangladesh in 2015, and then on I was doing some teaching work. Actually, I joined Daffodil, and then later on I came to US, and so far I'm enjoying it, looking forward, and looking to the seniors how I should approach. That's it.
Great, Hasib. Thank you for sharing that with us. Actually, this is great that you're still new to US, but you're very advanced in your thinking that you are doing the right thing. You should you should definitely plan ahead. What a lot of the international students do is that they wait for the last moment. They assume that they're just like very busy with their semester and everything, which I understand. But it's great that you are already seeking out, talking to different people. That's exactly the right thing to do. It will help broaden your network. I will answer you about Algorizin, but also I'll give you some quick tips which can be very helpful. is that
Okay.
try to network with people in LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the platform where everyone should be. So
Okay.
it doesn't matter how you just strengthen a little your LinkedIn profile a little bit. We will, after this session, we'll send you, just drop us an email. You have our email. We'll send a like curated LinkedIn course just to you. You can just email us, and if anyone else is also interested, just drop an email to us from wherever, if you have our email address. So we'll send you a specific step-by-step LinkedIn course where you can just go and just fix your LinkedIn a little bit. And the second part will be just going and messaging people who are in your domain. So like the ideal approach is that if you can message someone where you want to be after 2 or 3 years, that would be the ideal person. And if you message 10 people, one person will accept you, and then just try to connect with them. And yeah, we can go to a longer discussion of LinkedIn. I don't think LinkedIn is the beast, so maybe we'll do another session just on LinkedIn some other day. So that's something which can really help you in terms of networking. And regarding your application decision, Hasib, give us a few more days. We are actually waiting. The primary reason is that you still have time. We had some other students who
Yeah,
are
I
very
understand.
much in, yeah, we had some students very much in time crunch, so we just thought that, okay, let us start with them, and since you have time, we'll get back to you. But we are working on your case. Still
Yeah,
the mentors
it's
are
totally
discussing.
fine. It's totally fine. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no
Thank you,
worries.
Simba.
Thank you, Hasibul, for dropping in.
Okay, so I think Aman has a question. I can pick him up.
Yeah, I think we can answer Aman. Hey, oh, I mean, sure, Aman, you can go live. Aman,
So
what's your question?
sorry, now I've got a question hearing from other people. So if you want to combine a domain where you like algorithm teaches you a path to full stack, but if you like one of the other students was more interested in data science. So if you want to combine both domains, what would be like the ideal role or the path you kind of, I don't know, if you could give me some, I don't know, some your knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is something we are seeing over and over, and based on like our experience. So there are many interesting paths here. Number one is that if someone wants to go to data science, great. If ideally getting to data science is difficult as a track if you don't have any data science experience or a strong degree from US. So if you have a master's degree in data science from US, I have no argument against you. Great stuff. You can go directly to the data science route. If you have also a bachelor's, I think that's also fine. But if you don't have a direct data science degree, it is just a little bit harder. I'm not saying impossible, a little bit harder to land the data science job. What we usually recommend, and you can do your own research on this, go to glassdoor.com, choose any location, let's say New York City or San Francisco, and search for data scientist or data science, and search or versus search for full stack developer or software engineer. See how many results are coming out. You will see that there is at least 3 to 4x more results for software engineer. So because international students have a very serious time crunch, the 90-day time crunch and then the 1 year time crunch, I do not recommend just narrowing it down so much in the beginning. It's not safe. Also, even if you're trying software development, I've seen that someone, maybe they learned React JS, for example. I'm just giving one example, but they're seeing a lot of applications in Angular, which is just a different framework of JavaScript. I don't think an entry-level person should just stick to one framework in that way. They can have one framework, one technology as their strong point, but employers are not looking for experience from beginners. So very basic. For advanced people, employers are looking for experience. For beginner people, employers are looking for flexibility, agility, willingness to learn, positive attitudes. These are the things they're looking for. So I think these are the things the entry level persons should project in general. They should always go for width and not for not for depth in the beginning. Once they start their career, they can slowly go for depth. So that's in that way. If someone wants to go to data science, good stuff. Try both software engineering and data science. And then eventually, if you land a software engineering job, after 1 year, you can easily pivot, showing that experience. You don't have to wait for too long. So that's my suggestion.
So like software engineering full stack part can be easily transit to that data science part in a year or maybe in future if you want to switch.
Yeah,
Like all the
absolutely.
okay, because as you said
Absolutely.
mentioned, the entry level positions are mostly geared towards, there are more roles towards software engineering or full stack. So what's the major difference between software engineering and the full stack? So I'm like
It's
confused.
a great question also again. So software engineering is a very wide or vague term. The same way data science is a very wide and vague term. Data science can have ML, AI. Data science is not also one thing. Software engineering is right now considered, let's say, full stack is the primary software engineering path. Software engineering is just a wider path, but full stack application development, meaning that you are able to develop application which has a front facing interface, which has a backend, which has a database, and it can be hosted in a server, and it can be deployed in a web browser, or else it can be deployed in a mobile app. So full stack means that essentially you know the end to end, the front, back end, the database, the whole stack, and you can essentially deploy it in any direction, any visual screen size. That's the full stack. So any kind of company, mid size, large size, big size, they will need some kind of application, right? Like in their customer facing application or internal facing application. So a full stack essentially means that you are actually able to build these self-sustaining applications, which is also if in order to know full stack, you have to know some kind of programming language, obviously, and a software engineering, entry level software engineering also has to know. So it's a very software engineering is not actually a specific role, I would say, but I've seen in the industry they're being used interchangeably. But although if you want to be grammatically correct, the right naming will be full stack. But recruiters use it sometimes in a wrong way. That's why it also became synonymous. Did I answer your question, Aman?
Yeah. So, you, as you said, you software engineering or full stack needs to know some kind of language. So I'm to from what I have heard and like from other people and from my experience, you need to know front end like React JS or Angular, as you said, and for the back end Node JS or something, and JavaScript too, right? S-
Yeah, so JavaScript is the language. The React is a framework. Node is a framework. Angular is a framework. These are all JavaScript frameworks.
So
But
JavaScript is a programming language or is it a scripting language?
it's a programming language, which it's a scripting type of programming language. There are more strong, like let's say Java, more object-oriented languages like Java or Objective-C. But I think we are going too deep into the technical side. But in general, there is usually in a full stack a front end or front-facing application. It can be built with multiple languages. It doesn't have to be only JavaScript based as well. It can be for example, for iOS, it's Objective-C, or right now it's Swift. In Android, previously it used to be Java. Right now it's Kotlin. So but the thing is that there is always a front end, there is a back end, and there is a database. So and just so that we do not go too deep, but just a very high level idea. I have my mobile. Let's say I have my phone. I don't know if it is visible here.
Yeah.
So whenever I open an application, I click, the visual interface I see is the front end. Whenever I click something, that click calls some internal functions. Like in Facebook, let's say I press like, it calls some of the backend functions, and the backend functions save that information in the database. That okay, Siam pressed like in Aman's post, that is being saved in the database. So that's the end-to-end structure of a full stack. So a full stack engineer knows how to build the whole stack, not just one part of it. So is it more clear, Aman?
Yeah, so as I understand, so you need to know frameworks, that's like mandatory for full stack, and you need to know JavaScript. But based on what kind of application your company wants or your client wants, if it's a
Hmm.
iOS application, you need to know Swift, and if it's a Android application, you need to know Kotlin. If it's a desktop application, there must be other kind of programming language you need to know. but the
Right.
framework and the JavaScript is like a basic, like mandatory. You need to know for sure.
You are right, except the JavaScript part. JavaScript is just one of the languages. So 30% of the full stack applications right now are built on JavaScript, but many of them are not built on JavaScript. There is Ruby on Rails on the back end. Front end could be something else, like Flutter. Google released Flutter. Flutter is based on a different language called Go. That's not built in Java. Or I think Flutter is built on Dart. So, but I would not focus on the languages much. No matter wherever you are starting. For example, Aman, you are still new in the development path, so this is good that you're asking all these questions. But I would recommend for beginner level people just to start with any stack, any language. It doesn't matter. They can start with anything. It doesn't have to be JavaScript. JavaScript is just more common. There is just more documentation, more support in the online communities. You'll find a lot of resources. If you choose something which is very niche, for example, Objective-C or Swift, you have to buy a Mac. There is just more friction to enter. But Aman, any more questions? I do want to give other people some opportunity, but do you have any other questions? These are
No,
important questions. Yeah.
no. So I got the idea. So Java, that's why we teach JavaScript in Algorizin, as it's like a more niche, as you said.
It's more common, more community there, more community, more support if you get stuck.
But some
That's it.
employers have like a specific requirement on their jobs. They want this Ruby on Rail or some this Angular framework only. But if you still have the basic framework or other way of doing it, you can still apply. You never know when they can be.
Absolutely. Very good question. Very good question. I think again, this is something which I'll
Because
be
the
repeating. What
languages keeps updating. There is always something new coming on, and you have to add. You need to keep updated with the new language, or you
you
can
have
do
to keep.
whatever you learned, you can improve on it.
Good question. Very good question. These are good questions, Aman. So this is a fundamental thing about software engineering path, or in general this whole industry, is that you have to constantly update yourself. It is not like other industries that where you just learn one thing and then you are set for 50 years. You just do one profession and you never learn anything. That is not possible in other industries right now as well, because in 21st century things are more competitive in general. You have to learn. That's the attitude throughout all industries. But in software industries, it's even more, a little bit more ruthless, but in a good way. If you enjoy learning, this is the perfect field for you to be. To answer your question, again, if you learn, let's say, JavaScript, and if you
Yeah.
did not work with the technology stack, but the employer is looking for that, that's not a problem at all. Because, for example, again, answering the first thing is that employers for an entry level person are not looking for experience. Again, I will repeat this again. They
Yeah.
are looking for attitude. They are looking for your flexibility. Are you open to learning new things? So let's say you go to an employer, you said that, oh, I worked with Node as a backend. And then the other person says that, no, we have Java Spring Boot or something else as a backend. Then you can say that, hey, I didn't work with that same exact language, but I actually worked with object-oriented programming. So I understand the object-oriented programming concepts. I can easily learn Spring Boot, and I can just become. I can get the work done. So that's the attitude the employers want to see. That do you have the attitude to learn new things and also find connections whenever they ask you something? So it's good to, again, focusing on that, being a little bit good in one, like let's say master in one, and then flat in everything else. That will help you. Just, okay, what is Ruby on Rails? Let me just do some Google and understand basics. Let me watch some 10 minutes video and see Ruby on Rails. Node, Go, Dart, Python, Django. You go through everything and have a basic understanding, and with only one you have deeper understanding. That would be the right approach for beginners. But Aman, thanks a lot for the question. We'll have to bring some other people in.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, you can bring in. I'm good now. Thank you for
sounds
your
good.
time.
Thank you. Likewise, thanks a lot for the questions. Hey,
Hi,
Johnson, good to see you again.
yeah, Sam. It's nice to see you again. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I have had a one-on-one meeting with you. So I'm here partly to find out what plans are being made for graduating students like me, because most likely right now I'll be graduating from the University of Denver by the end of this year, 2021. And as I told you earlier, I'm doing a second master's in chemistry and biochemistry. And I had informed you about my interest to work with either the pharmaceutical industry or in a research and development firm. And I also want to narrow down my career interest. I'm also very much interested, considering that I'm doing research on finding long-term treatments for cancer, Parkinson's disease, and Alzheimer's disease. So I'm also interested in working with industries or companies or organizations that are, also, doing research related to this kind of diseases. So I'm really interested in that. So I need to find out from you how Algorizin can help me out in this career path.
Great question, Johnson. Thank you again. Like, good to see you again. Thank you for being patient. We are getting a lot of applications. We're interviewing a lot of candidates every day, to be honest. We did not realize that this will have such an enormous, like I just posted a video in LinkedIn that I'm saying that we have so many applications. We realize that there is a big problem. There is a big gap in the market that these students, they actually need some kind of guidance. As we, just to be more transparent, we started primarily in the beginning just for the software path, because that's our strength. That is where we are coming from. We have to start somewhere, right? So I am someone who did my master's in electrical engineering, switched to software engineering. I know how to navigate this path more strongly than other ones. I have a lot of friends, a lot of industry connections in this path. But because I have lived in US for 10 years, I have connections throughout the industry. Now that we are getting some some interest from non-software engineering or not in non-engineering paths, this is something which we are still trying to figure out on our end, that we do not want to take a student as a mentee if we are not sure 100% that we can help them end to end in the pipeline, because we can help them a little bit. Career support we can provide to everyone. I think that can be helpful for everyone. LinkedIn tips, how to talk to recruiters, these basics, but students do not know sometimes the basic things because they're just not from US. So but to be specific on your pharmaceutical path, I think that's a great, like, you should stick to that. Give us we just started our cohort, which is the software engineering cohort. Give us a little more time. I know that you have some time for graduation, you are not doing instantly, but we did not forget you at all. Like, we are thinking about it. I'm trying to figure out who is the right mentor for you for pharmaceutical path. And then if that is something we can also cater to slowly, that can we actually also start broadening our services and start helping non engineering path students, because primarily it has been engineering. But yeah, Johnson, thanks for again dropping in. What I can basic things what we can do is that, because you are in our email list now, you're kind of subscribed to us, or like you are within our network. We do these events once in a while, almost every month. We are thinking of increasing the frequency to almost every week or a bi-weekly. So drop into these things. Just there will be a lot of things you can learn. You can meet a lot of people in these events, and then network with them. So I think that will also slowly give you some wisdom. It will not be fully wasted. So definitely drop in these things. What we are also thinking of doing is that sending a weekly kind of like ticks and trips for immigration, for career, to students, everyone who subscribe to us for free. Like, there is no payment involved. So just subscribing to the email list will send the students basic tips which are helpful. You can subscribe to it, you can opt out if you want, but these are the things we are thinking of doing for the broader student. The mentorship program is more specific because it's more hands-on. Mentors actually talk to you the same way I'm talking to you, just for one session. With our students, we talk to them one-on-one every week, which is for long term, for months, which actually helps them more. But for that, we need a longer or deeper commitment. I'm still trying to figure out on the pharmaceutical mentor side, but we'll keep you posted, Johnson, and just stay around us in the thing, because give us some time to figure out. But we are honestly, we are trying our best from our side to help all the international students.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that very much. You've answered my question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Johnson. Thanks
Okay.
again for dropping by. Good to see you.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Well, so Mentor Siam, we have some questions we received in any in other channels. So would you mind answering?
Sure. Let's go through them. So I think I'm seeing one question is that, okay, very good question being asked over and over again. And this kind of makes me think that we should probably start making micro videos, just small videos to kind of start building an FAQ library for this small but commonly recurring question. That will be really helpful for the international students. Instead of having 1 hour thing, maybe like 1 minute answers of one small question. So, but great questions, guys. Keep them coming. So, question is that what if I want to choose my career from non-CS to CS, non-computer science to computer science, then what will be my visa status? Great question. So, if you are coming from a STEM background and if you have some kind of programming course in your STEM degree, let's say you did master's or bachelor's in civil engineering or mechanical engineering or electrical engineering, I'm just giving some random examples. If you have done some programming course, then it can be proven that it's connected to your degree. It doesn't have to be tied to the degree name. The lawyers can make a case for you that it's connected to your degree. We have seen hundreds and thousands of cases like that, and that should not be a problem. Secondarily, another way would be to work in the same industry. Let's say you have a degree in civil engineering, but you are working as a software developer in a civil engineering or a structural engineering company. Even in that case, by the attachment of the industry, the case can be made that it is relevant to your degree. It's not as rigid as it seems from outside, and you can read the fine lines there. The fine lines is that like even if you have some kind of attachment, it should be okay. So I hope that question was clear. I don't know who asked this question, so if you have follow-up questions, feel free to ask. H1B situation. So we can, if I think the recent H1, it would be good to have more like clarity on the. So can you share some information about the recent H1B situation? I don't know what exactly it entails, but one good thing is that for that, to answer that question, we'll actually just do one session just for covering up H1B. So H1B is such a big topic. We will do a specific section just for H1B. So like if you have any questions about that, but I'm not sure exactly what your question is, feel free to ask that question again. Maybe I can answer it more clearly if I knew what it is, what does it mean. So yeah, but I think we can go to the next question probably.
Okay, sure. So we have another question that is, I need 1 more year to complete my graduation. Can I apply to Algorizin now? If not, then is there anything I can do to improve my skills for my career development?
You absolutely can. So again, this is something which was like very good to see that people are trying of this from their like before their 1 year before graduation. Amazing, so advanced planning. So you can what you can do from Algorizin side, what we can do is that we can keep you in our mailing list. So if you just go to our website and apply, that will keep you in our mailing list. And as I was saying, our previous guest, Johnson, we will be sending you weekly or bi-weekly messages, emails, and also videos and tricks and tips every time. So that will have all the career tips, immigration tips in your desktop coming with the latest news. So again, you can subscribe to it if you want to, but it will come to your email list. So that's one thing we'll do. We have these online webinars we do every month, but we are trying to increase the frequency. You can go to our YouTube channel also to see our previous videos. We are thinking of opening up some more videos and uploading some more webinars we did before. So those are the things. Again, just to remind you, if you want to do something right now, the best things would be to network. I think this is something which keeps coming over and over again. So we are thinking of also not only doing the H1 webinar separately, but also doing a what is that? Just networking webinar. Actually, because this is a relevant topic, we will do a networking webinar on May 25th. May 25th on, let me just see the date if before committing. Yeah, May 25th, 6 p.m. Eastern time. So same time as today, but on May 25th it will start, and it will be just about networking. So it will have all the networking tips and tricks. And if you have already signed up for this event, we'll send you details for that event as well. But focus on networking. That would be my suggestion.
Thanks everyone for joining again. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment there in the comment section. And we are moving to another person. We have Mahi with us, so I'm picking him. Welcome, Mahi.
Hello, Mentor.
Hi, Mahi. How are you? Long time no see.
Yeah, I was kind of occupied. Yeah, so my question will be like, if and when we get a job, what are some best practices to follow actually to keep the job and move to the next step, getting H1B lottery, and what are the things to avoid? Yeah.
A very good question, Mahi. This is a very important domain you covered. A lot of people are not thinking about what to do after they land a job. So uh, after you land a job, I would say the number one thing, you should make sure that you have a very good relationship with your manager. I would focus on that the most, because your manager actually holds the entire key of your next levels of your career. For example, for me, when I started my job, I did two things. One was that I went above and beyond to make sure that the entire team, because it doesn't matter where you are, which company you are working on, either it be a company, big sized company like Google, or a startup, you will eventually be interfacing with maximum 6 to 8 people on regular basis, even less. That's the interface level. You will not interface with 6,000 people, no matter how big the company is. So your number one step is that you are, with your hard work or your like skills, making that team dependent on you. And the way you dependent, how do you make the team dependent on you? Number one is that you try to understand your role in the company. Your role in the company is to help them, is to help your team. That's why you are joining the company. That's essentially the only reason why you are being hired. So in order for you to help your team, what do you have to do? You have to understand what your team needs help with. Maybe you got hired as a software developer, but for example, for me, I'll give an example about in my career. I started as an iOS developer, but in the team, after 2 months, my manager was saying that, oh, like there is a problem, like we are training these people, but there is no documentation. So I kind of proposed my manager myself, and like, hey, I have a kind of like a crazy idea, but how about, I used to make videos before. I used to do some editing. I asked my manager and said that, hey, manager, I had some idea that can I actually make small videos of documentation of the code base, very small videos of 1-2 minutes, and then it will be very easy to onboard everyone to the new product. Because when there is a product, there are always hiring and onboarding, and most of the companies do not have that kind of nice onboarding process. So I actually made a big content library of the whole iOS code, of the whole product requirement code, which has became an asset for the company. So whoever joined later, they could actually watch those videos. Again, this is not part of my job description. Video editing was not why I was hired for, but my manager was okay giving me, let's say in the 40 hours week, I actually worked 10 hours as a video maker. But what it did is that it did two things. One, it created some kind of a positive effect in the team, that, oh, like Siam is very resourceful and he can help us in not only one way but multiple ways. And then the team started becoming dependent on me, because I reached out to the team members every month, or every time I spoke, and said that, hey, are you stuck with something? can I help you somehow? So like I ask this to my team members all the time. It doesn't matter if they can be business analysts. I ask them that, hey, what is your struggle? Can you, like, I mean, not exactly the question like that, but whenever I was talking with them, my goal was to extract this information, and whatever they told me, I tried to help them with either my own time or else trying to find something in my network, or if I read some blog or something, just pass them that blog that, hey Christy, you are stuck in this thing. And it doesn't even have to be a job related thing. Even if you help people out in their personal manner, it will, people will start talking about you that, oh, Mahi actually helped me in this thing, I was stuck, Mahi is a great guy. And if you start doing it for all your team members and have a good relationship with your manager, I think that should be okay. I believe. Mahi, did I answer your question?
Yeah. You answered my first part of the question. And what are the things should be careful about? That was another.
Careful about. Very good question, Mahi. I think this will be a very useful. Like these questions, the answers will be very useful for our audience. So careful about, I would say that careful about not having a proper communication channel open with team members. What happens is that working in as a company, so most of the STEM students or most of the talents who come to US, they're very intelligent people. They're very smart. But I have seen that they lack a little bit in the interpersonal skill, which means that you can do a lot with your technical skills, yes, but some basic communication skills are also required. So what you can avoid doing is that trying not to go to unnecessary conflict with people, like not to go into some kind of ego fight. This is not about ego. Again, if you are always coming from the point of helping, that will always lead to good places. So the reverse will be that don't come from an angle of becoming selfish in the company. That's the opposite. Like whatever I said before, don't do the opposite of it. That don't go to the company just to take things for you, take salary, take network, or build things which will benefit you personally or upfront. So, and also not going to conflict with people, just being more cooperative with the team members. If someone, not everyone will be perfect in the team. You will see that some people are more jealous than others. They're doing some politics in the company. Try to have a transparent conversation with them. If someone is trying to, you seem that they're feeling competitive with you, just instead of telling it to your manager, just try to ask them that, hey, do you want to go grab a coffee with me, or let's have a lunch together, go to a lunch, and then say that, hey, like, try to make them feel comfortable around you. If you are seeing someone who are getting challenged by your behavior, try to not challenge them. Take to a one-on-one session, go to a lunch together, and say that, hey, like, I actually want to learn from you. You have been in the company for 2 years, 6 months. So this is something which will instantly notice when you join a company who is in near your role. They might feel threatened by your skill set, by your intelligence. So don't make them feel threatened. Make them feel like, hey, I actually am new, although I have a PhD degree. I have a lot to learn from you because you are more matured than me in the company. So can you teach me some tricks and trips? If you say that, their guard will automatically go low, and they will become your friend. So again, not trying to go into conflict. Always be communicative if needed, over communicative. Always, instead of closing yourself, try to be open, and try to have the communication channels open with everyone, with your manager, even with the team members who do not who also feel threatened by you. Try to have the communication channels open. That's number one tips. Number two is that don't, and I don't think it applies for you, Mahi, or I'm not saying these things because it applies for you. This is very general, is that, like, don't, this is in the beginning of stage of your career. So, like, don't be rigid about growth opportunities or your role. Like, whenever an opportunity comes, be flexible and usually say yes to those. That, oh, this is a new skill, there is a new technology coming. If someone is saying it, especially your manager, don't go to the default answer that, oh no, I don't know it. The default answer is that, oh, I don't know it, but I'm really interested. I heard about it. I'm interested to learn. Can you give me 1 week? I'll just do some basic research. So having that attitude is also important. I hope that Mahi, I answered your question.
Yeah. Thank you for the answer. It was really helpful tips. If I may pose my last part of the question, which is like,
sure, yeah,
keep the status and about the traveling when before the H1B lottery or H1B get picked up, is it safe to visit home country, or when is a good time, or after even if the H1B get picked up, is it? I heard like there are some times when you should not visit home country. So can you give some idea?
Sure. So if you are in any kind of transition phase, you can visit your home country or exit US, but it's safer not to exit US in your transition period. Not only H1, any kind of transition periods, but when you have a solid visa status, for example, you have a H1B status, I think it's safe to visit home country now. I don't see any problem. The only thing you should consider, just consider, I'm not giving any specific guideline here, is that let's say you go to your home country, you have H1, solid H1, everything is perfect, and you're taking, let's say, 1 month of vacation from the home, like office, and then you go to your home because there is COVID, maybe there is a lockdown after 20 days. Just make sure that you have the conversation with your manager beforehand that, hey, just in case there is a lockdown, I might need to stay 1 more month in my home country. Is it okay if I work from remotely? Like, just have a casual conversation with with your manager, because legally you are not allowed to work from abroad as a H1 visa. So even if you are in the vacation, sure, I understand, but in the worst case, if you get stuck, at least have some verbal conversation so that there is some backup plan. But normally there should not be any legal problem. It's more about just considering the COVID factor and all those factors. I would just have pure conversation with the manager before traveling outside.
Okay.
Did I answer your question, Mahi?
Yeah, I think you answer all the questions.
Great, Mahi. Good seeing you again. Good luck with everything, and we'll see you around.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining. I think we can take 1 or 2 more person, and then slowly we can wrap it up. Romeo, how are we looking with the people?
Okay, we're nearly end, but so much people are on the line. So probably we can take another session another day. But for now, I think we can.
Okay, so sounds good. So yeah, if there are questions, feel free to drop it. And again, if you have some more questions which we have not answered, feel free to email us. We will do this session more often. These are very lightweight, easy sessions to do for us. We can keep doing it more often. But I think, was there any who wants to go next?
Yes. Another question I have is that, what about traveling during OPT and from home country?
What about traveling during OPT and working home from working from home? Oh, same, Aman, same question, same answer as H1B. Working from home is not a recommended path. It depends. Legally, it is a gray area, but it has to have an approval and a very clear understanding from the manager. I would say that if the manager is not comfortable, then you cannot work, because the manager can literally recommend to your to the company's like authority and fire you. So making sure that if you are traveling during to OPT, if you have a job, definitely making sure that you have good communication with your manager. If you don't have a job, I would recommend not traveling to your home country. Just not to I don't know. I feel like you should pick the phone calls, recruiter calls from US. If you're in any other country, like if you go to Nepal, Aman, you might miss out on the calls. It's not just the right time to visit, in my opinion, unless you have some emergency at home. Romeo, I think I can see some comments in the social media. Maybe we can pull them up in the StreamYard thing. Is there? I think I saw some interesting options.
So, as we are in short time, so we have only few more minutes, so we can probably pick the questions rather than picking some one-on persons. So let me pick a question from Erika. So here's the question.
Great. So the question is that, do you have any recommendations for the first time goals for any entry level position? Erika, if you can ask us a follow-up, I have some follow-up questions regarding this, but recommendations for first time goals. I think I have nothing else to add than what I added before, that just focus on the width and focus on the, instead of becoming narrow with your skills, I think that should be the approach. I'm not, if you don't mind rephrasing the question, Erika, that would be really helpful. In the meantime, we can answer some more questions. And maybe we can keep a maximum of 10 more minutes, and then we can have a sharp stop in 10 minutes. So if you have any questions, feel free to chat, provide it in the chat. If someone signed up before Romeo, maybe we can only let them in the video. But other than that, we can, guys, we got a lot of applications and stuff. So just trying to be mindful to everyone's time. Thank you for being patient. We'll do these sessions more. So yeah, Romeo, if you, who are the people in the pipeline, if there is anyone like that?
I think some people left already. Since
that's fine.
We'll...
yeah, that's fine. So what we can do is that,
yeah, we'll try to.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry guys for the you know, like the waiting time. We will, if you have any suggestions on how we should conduct these sessions, feel free to email us. We are trying our best to answer most of the questions. So I think one question came is that, I know is Algorizin is about science and engineering, MBA or masters in business. Okay, so do we have any kind of support for the people for the big business background? So again, non-STEM students, business or pharmacy or anything which is not exactly in the STEM. Pharmacy is still in the STEM degree, but I'm saying like non-engineering subjects. I said before that we primarily started with that, but we are seeing a lot of demand from all degrees. We are thinking of doing something just career focused sessions for these people, because I feel like connecting with recruiters, connecting with employers, these are some strategies everyone can help. So we'll keep everyone posted. Just stay subscribed to our email list and our channels, social media channels. We'll just keep you posted if we are launching anything specific for the business people. But I would say for everyone, we are launching something for the, just as a career advice. So we are thinking of starting something soon for all students there. Yeah. Is there anything? Yeah.
Coming to Siam, I think we are good for today. And
no worries. Let me. Yeah. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining. I do have to share one news, which is the which I already shared in the beginning of the session, is that we are doing another webinar specifically with most of the questions we have heard today, and also we have been thinking about this for a while. So we'll do another webinar. This will be on effective cross-cultural networking skills to advance your career. So networking, if you do any research, you will see that networking alone is responsible for more than 85%, filling more than 85% of the jobs in US. Insane amount of big number for that. And then you will see that this is not, networking is not only needed for the beginning of the career, but also mid-career people. 80% of the professional believe that the career success got elevated from the networking. So we will do just a session based on networking. We'll talk about why is networking important to us, what are the cross-cultural nuances in networking in US, how to build your confidence and embrace networking as an introvert. And for that, the good thing is that we are bringing in, I'm bringing in one of my friends who is actually like who has a really deep knowledge in HR, has been working in HR for the last almost 15 years. So she helps underrepresented early stage people in their career to help them essentially like create their stories on how to network and build their confidence. So she helps them to negotiate salary for the first time if anyone is trying to change their career, and she also works with I met her through one of these events about diversity and inclusion. So because the foreign-born people are not from US, we have a unique challenge just for essentially just to connect with the people culturally in US. So I think my friend, I'll bring her in and we'll do more introduction about her in the session, but we'll both be answering the questions. And I think that's a very good, I think that would be a very good segue for the next webinar. I think like there are some comments. Thank you, Nozrul Islam Bhai, for your comment and support. For now, I think that's pretty much it. Thanks a lot, guys. This has been great. If you have any feedback about the event, let us know. I'll see you in the next event, which is on May 25th, same time. And go to our website, algorizin.com, and apply. If you want to just apply there, if you apply there, you'll be in our sessions and you'll get all the updates all the time. So thank you again, and I'll see you guys around. And thanks, Romeo, for arranging this.
And also thanks to Russell Bhai for keeping everything organized in the background. Big thanks to you. Okay, thank you, Mentor Siam. We can close.
All right, we can wrap it up. Thank you.